make sure you go ahead and put your city and state in the chat space. Put your city and state in the chat space. Or if you're watching in another country outside of the United States, go ahead and put your country there. And do your girl a favor. Can you go ahead and share this out? Give us a thumbs up. Tag a couple people. Let them know, because they do not want to miss this conversation. I promise you. So go ahead and get to typing, get to chatting, get to sharing. All right, appreciate you. How are you guys doing? Listen, welcome. It is Wealthy Wednesday, and today we are going to have another amazing author that is using their words to impact the world. Okay, so listen, I hope that you guys have been enjoying the Wealthy Wednesday edition, but I need your help. First of all, hopefully you guys have already introduced yourself, put your city and state in the chat, or your country, but tag a couple of people, especially if you have any ladies that are in the corporate space, climbing the corporate ladder. Let me tell you something. Everybody don't hate their job, okay? Some people ready to climb that ladder and get that bag, okay? So if you know anybody that is in the career space, that wants to get into the career space and grow, guys, you got to tag them in this video. Please share this video, because I promise you, this is going to blow you away. But also, for those of you guys who just know that you deserve more, like period, point blank, in the story, baby, you say, I deserve more, I deserve it. I need you to go ahead and tag them too, okay? But listen, I'm going to get out the way of greatness, and I am going to introduce today's Wealthy Wednesday speaker. So I'm so excited. So y'all, let's go ahead. Let me tell you a little bit about who we got on the line today. A globally recognized leader, Christy Rutherford is an executive assistant leadership coach that assists women with being promoted through office politics and self-care. Her clients have received over $11 million in salary raises in a pandemic. As an author, Christy has published 5 best-selling books in 8 months. She is a Harvard Business School alumna, as well as a certified executive leadership coach from the Georgetown University. Hey, she was recently featured in Black Enterprise and has been featured in Forbes 3 times. Christy is the 13th African-American woman to achieve the rank of Commander Lieutenant Colonel equivalent in the U.S. Coast Guard's 230-plus year history, where her demographic was less than 0.1%. She responded to the need of the citizens of New Orleans 2 days after Hurricane Katrina and had a 3-year congressional fellowship with the House of Representatives. Christy's academic portfolio includes an MBA, a pastry chef diploma. Yes, honey, she can cook. Among her many professional accomplishments, her national recognition includes Harvard Business School's 2018 launching New Ventures Pitch Contest Grand Master Champion, Cambridge Who's Who among executives and professionals, Career Communications STEM Technology All-Star, and the Edward R. Williams Award for Excellence in Diversity. Ladies and gentlemen, Christy Rutherford. Well, that's what happened. Christy Rutherford! Child, pushing too many buttons. But listen, welcome, Christy. I am so happy to have you here. I mean, child, I was getting tongue-tied with all of these different accolades and titles, and that's probably just a small percentage of all the things that you guys, or that you and your business and what you as a woman have been able to accomplish. Thank you for being here today. And listen, we are so excited, honey, okay? So first, listen, I know that intro probably didn't do as much justice, but what I really want to know from you, Christy, directly is if you could tell us, like, how did you get to this space that you're at today? Now, a coach that is helping women to get the money that they deserve on the job space. What made you decide that you wanted to get into this coaching space?
Well, one, Taria, thank you so much for inviting me to be here. I know you got a whole setup. I know you got the whole technology set up over there. And I'm on my phone in the room. So, yeah, you can hit all the buttons you want to because you got buttons. And I'm excited to share this insight with your audience today. And yeah, that was a short bio. I was like, oh, interview's over. You've been reading my stuff for an hour. But why did I get started? Or I would just say the space that I'm in today, I burned out. 2012, I burned out, ran into a brick wall doing 1,000 miles an hour. And I didn't listen to my body. I wasn't listening to the signals. I wasn't taking care of myself. And I was so professionally driven and focused that I ended up in a ditch, and lost everything. And I lost my mind first because, I was out there selling coffee. And because I wanted to win, I resigned with 3.5 years left to retire with a full pension. I know we'll talk about it, but I left my career in desperation. And I joined the marketing organization, which I love. I have no regrets because everybody was happy, met some amazing people. But I thought that if I got my money right, then I would take care of my mindset. Then I would work on my family. Then I would do all these things. And so I didn't stop long enough to be able to focus on my mindset, because when my mind snapped, the money followed that. And then, that was a whole thing. And so now I'm who I needed 10 years ago. I'm the person that tells women, hey, you need to slow down and stop. You need to take a break. But not only that, high achieving women, we don't know how to stop. We just want money. So I just be like, you want some money, girl? And they be like, yes. And once we have them, we'll be like, yeah, but let's go ahead and slow down and then speed up.
Let's work on some other stuff. Right.
Yeah.
I love what you do so much, Christy. In fact, I talk about you so much to our Book Profits Club family because you are the epitome of what I'm trying to get people to understand as far as like how to attract the right client. And you just said that. You said most high level achieving women, the first thing that they think they want, is more money, right? You can talk to people all day long about building up your confidence, believing in yourself, motivating and inspiring you. But baby, it's when you hit them with do you want a 30% raise? And they're like, well, how do I do it? And so I love that is the way that you actually attract your client base. But just like what you said, it's bigger than the money. And so first, if I were to be someone that you would approach, because I know you got some really, really good, I like to call them Hiro-Juko ninja skills at finding these women. What is it that you typically look for when you're looking for a woman who deserves to be earning more, but also has maybe possibly a disconnection with the mental side? You said getting your mind right. What are you looking for?
I'm looking for the woman who is like me, hard-headed, alpha, want to win, refuses to look in the mirror and own where we are mentally, because we just want to win. That's it. We want what's next. We're not looking at all the carnage that we're leaving behind us. The forest is on fire. We over here looking for the next thing. And really, it's women who give, serve, do. And we don't stop ever to take care of ourselves. That's who I'm looking for, the women who are depleted. But, all caps, but with an exclamation point, we are the ones in our families. We're super successful and we can't tell anybody that we're suffering. And so we are really suffering in our success. We have everything. We've checked all the boxes and we want what's next. And we're not willing to really admit, I would say, to ourselves that we are suffering and we're miserable because we're just addicted to, getting the next thing. So.
Suffering. You said, what did you say? You said suffering, not in silence, but you said something. Suffering in success.
We're suffering in our success. Silently.
Oh my Lord, Jesus. Honey, I felt that because, baby, I know how that feels where on the outside end, she got it all put together. Life is
Everything.
perfect. Money's right. Car's right. She's looking fine. And deep down, you're like, this is not what I thought it was all supposed to be. So I want to have a conversation about money, too, because I know that's the way that you attract them. But, of course, you dig deeper. And the conversations that I've seen that you've had with your ladies, it digs so much more deeper into just self-reflection and confidence and things of that nature. Why do you think, especially as an alpha female, that we equate our success to money? Where does that come from?
Well, what I've learned about a lot of women that I've talked to, a lot of high achieving women, we're survivors, right? Like we're running from something. We're running from something that happened a long time ago. So working hard, proving people wrong, being on our own, doing it all ourselves, that started long before we got a job. The job is just a continuation in the story. So we have patterns. Some women who grew up in abusive households, they don't want to be like their mom. They don't want to ever depend on a man to be able to do anything. So they're going to work and make sure they have enough money. I was talking to a woman the other day and somebody said, oh, she ended up being a teenage mom in a small town, but she was brilliant and she graduated like number 16 in her high school. So to be super smart and then to mess around and get pregnant and be Dolores's child, who they, so people think you're going to lose. I was like, you got a PhD, don't you? She was like, right? Because she got the PhD to prove to everybody that she was smart, even though she got pregnant. But here's the thing, Taria, she makes like $60,000, $70,000 a year with a PhD because she never equated her value to the degrees. She's solely working to prove people wrong. So that's a challenge that, a lot of women have. And so it started long before we got to work. But now work is the easiest thing to claim. You have all of these articles that are coming out saying that women are going to make the least. Black women make the least amount of money. Black women are the highest rated entrepreneurs because we're sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm like, just because we leaving to be entrepreneurs, that doesn't mean that we're making money. And we're the lowest paid because we don't connect our value. We're the most educated and least paid. And I'm gonna pause right there.
Ooh. Most educated. You ain't never lie. I know so many black women. I mean, just incredible black women with every degree in the world. I got good friends with every degree in the world and not getting paid what they deserved. And we think that it has to do with, again, like you said, let me go get another degree. Let me go get another certification. Let me go get another made up. Hello? Because, I always like to joke, Christy, I always say every degree was made up. Just like every certification was made up. At the end of the day, do you got the skill set? That's what people need to know. Can you help get the results, right? So let's talk about that. So now I know that typically when a woman sees what it is that you're doing, they're coming in, Christy, I need you to show me how to get this raise. I need you to show me how to get to this next level of success in my job or even in my career. Typically, what would you say is the first thing that, like, let's just say we do a one-on-one session. What's going to be the first thing that we're going to identify in this process of me getting to that end in mind, which of course is that raise?
So that's what I ask. Tell me about your childhood. They be like, wait, what? I thought this was a professional conversation. I'd be like, yeah, it is, but go ahead and tell me. And they'd be like, well, I am, the fifth child of whatever, or my dad did this. It's a lot of daddy trauma, right? Whether the dad was in the house and was strict, the dad wasn't in the house, the dad abandoned the household. Everybody got daddy issues. My dad called me special. That put pressure on me. I'm like, oh my God. But it's like the first question I asked Taria is, if I was your fairy godmother from Wakanda and I'm going to grant you 3 wishes, what would you ask for? That's the first question. It's a couple of questions that I asked, but a lot of women be like, well, I want this and I want this money. And I'm like, no. I'm the fairy godmother. Like I can give you $1 billion if you ask for it. They only asking for 10,000. Does that make sense? And so we have sight but no vision. Like they don't have any dreams. The only thing they focus on is the work. Or they be like, well, I want my health back. And I'm like, so you need fairy godmother magic to get your health back because they can't imagine being mentally and physically whole. It takes a wish, a Disney dream to be able to get that. So the first part is you're not thinking anything outside of the job. The job has become this tunnel that you're living your life through, and you have everything that's around you that's falling apart or has the ability to fall into place, but you refuse to look outside of that. And then the second part is tell me about your childhood so we can identify why you have this tunnel vision and why you feel like you have to work harder and why you feel like you have to work more and why haven't you taken accountability and really stopped long enough to look at how great you are. You got 25, 30 years of intellectual property that has value attached to it, but you're not doing that because you're always looking for somebody else to value you because you didn't feel valuable because of something that happened in your childhood.
This is good. This is good. Listen, if you guys are getting some value in this, type the quotable moments in the chat space because I know that Christy has dropped some major bombs. Now, we're going to get back to this, and I'm going to have you also to tell us a little bit about the books that you have written because, of course, we love to highlight our authors that are sharing value in this place, in this world. But look, real quick, Christy, I got to get ready for a little commercial, okay? Because we want to pay some bills. So we're going to be right back. But ladies and gentlemen, we are here with Christy Rutherford, okay? Y'all want to learn how to get that raise on the job? Well, baby, it's not just about working harder and working smarter. It has everything to do with digging down deep and understanding some of those mental blocks. And that's what Christy and I are having a conversation about. But until we get back with her, we first got to do a quick little commercial break. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on. Hello, authors. Listen really quick. This is a quick commercial, darling. Listen, if you are an author and you're trying to leverage your book so that you can grow your speaking, coaching, or network marketing business, I have a free training for you. Every Thursday, we have our Book Profits session that you can plug into. This is a free session where I'm literally showing you guys, and I'm live, how to be able to turn your book into at least 3 streams of income. My goal is to show 1,000 authors who want to generate at least $10,000 a month. Some want to do a day, some want to do a week, but at least $10,000 a month, how to be able to work 2 to 4 hours a day and make that happen. But you got to join the session so I can show you our system. Okay, so go to bookprofitssession.com. The worst that can happen is if you don't like it, you got a free training. So register and I will see you guys there. Bye. Bye. Y'all ever know somebody that's how they talk? They be like, bye. That was like what I just did right there. Okay, anyways, y'all register for that Book Profit session. It is free. But we are back with Christy Rutherford, y'all. Let's go ahead and give it up. Okay, yes, Christy. Hey. You know, Christy, before we get into talking about your books and all that stuff too, I also wanted to highlight something that I thought that was powerful because for those of us who are in the coaching space, and you guys are listening in, by the way, Christy has done some substantial income in her coaching, which means that she is truly helping some people. And I know you're going to share how much in the raises because I know the number has increased since even probably the bio. But one thing that you said that was real powerful, and I said, who is it that you typically, serve? I probably didn't say it in that way. You said she basically is just like me. And I'm always trying to share that with people. And so just kind of going off the subject, but I do want to ask you this because Christy, it's true that you can help men. It's true that, and I'm sure you have, you can help women of all nationalities. It's true that you could probably even serve people in the entrepreneurship space, but you've created such a niched market. And I want to know how well, because this is my people that's watching right now, honey. We got gifts doing everything. Well, I can do this and I can serve them and I can help that and I can do this and I'm always trying to tell them to narrow and niche it down. And that's why I always talk about what you do and how you serve. What would you say to the person as well that's wanting to get into this coaching space and whatever they coach in, and they're trying to figure out who they serve and how they serve them?
Ooh. I think I'll drop 3 things. 1, we always hear, Tori, that your niche make you rich, but brilliant women, we want to do everything. We want to, because we can. That doesn't mean you should, right? So in 2019, I'm an author. I wasn't making no money because I ain't met Terraria yet. I'm an author. I want to do leadership training. I want to do keynotes, and I want to coach, and I want to do all these things. I got all these business ideas, and my money was on Morse code. My money wasn't touching. It was under tension. It was like this. Terraria. Hey. You want to touch it, and but in my mind, I have a gift. I have the ability to be able to change people. My prices were so cheap. I've been telling my women, because we got premium prices over here. I'm like, this program used to be $500. They be like, what? And I had to beg people to take it just to give me a testimonial, right? So it's like, because I'm doing too much, I'm not focused. And so in 2019, I was challenged by one of my coaches. You pick one thing, just stop. He said, if you write another ebook, another free ebook, I have about 8 of them, right? And you get on another Facebook Live for 15 minutes every single day. You've given away all of your intellectual property. Now you want people to turn around and pay you? Pick one. And so once I picked the one thing, that was our first 6-figure year. Then when I started working with Marquell Russell, and then I started to learn how to talk to my clients, and I picked the one woman, that's when we were able to multiply now. And so part of it is I'm talking to women who are just like me, because sell is not the right word, but I serve with the understanding of who I used to be.
Yes.
So all of my women, regardless of, typically my women are between 40 to 55, but we've gotten a 28-year-old rock star, 35. They're all the same woman, regardless of their background, their socioeconomic background, their race, like regardless of all these factors, they're all the same. And when they come in, they be like, I thought I was by myself. No. So that niche, I've been like, I'm not talking to everybody, and Terry, I'm a little special. I'm not for everybody on purpose.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Taylor, listen, Christy, I love that you shared that. And that it is so difficult, especially with our people, to get them to really understand that you can get very wealthy when you focus on one. Dr. Miles Monroe said it. He said, listen, God gives us a lot of talents in a lot of areas, but all you got to do is focus on one, and you will be able to make a living. So just so that everybody can know, you've been impacted women. Tell us, what's the number that you're at now? And then also on top of that, where do you live at, girl? Because, don't you live somewhere in the U.S. and you work about 20, 30 hours a day? Like, let us know what your life be like. I'm nosy.
They'd be like, why would I be over here with y'all Americans? I've been in the Bahamas so long, I be talking about y'all Americans. So I live on the beach, legit on the water in the Bahamas. I get to watch the sunset every day from my couch, but I get up from the couch to my man, if you don't get outside and look at the sunset. So you'd be like, oh, look at the sunset over the ocean every single day. So once I started to focus in 2020, I went to the Bahamas for a 2 weeks vacation, got locked out of the country in COVID. And because, Taria, I stopped and focused, it was like that year that I talked about, I was able to stay and sustain my lifestyle because I started to really niche in and was really able to serve on a very high level the women who are now locked in the house, now realizing that they're crazy. Right now we're at 11, actually it's a little over $11 million raises. I just came from our 2-day event this weekend. And so I have the numbers. I did a survey with my women because I need to chase them. Like, I need y'all's numbers. We need to be able to count this money so we can do this. But it's $11 million in salary raises. But I think the bigger number is we've saved 25 marriages. We've stopped 20 women from dying and having nervous breakdowns. We've gotten women off of high blood pressure, diabetes medication. One of my clients, one of your Book Profits members, Jennifer Branson, healed from fibroids, endometriosis. She stuttered and had high blood pressure all in 4 months. So the bigger numbers is the mental and physical health. But we don't get to that money too. Yeah, and we kept hundreds of kids out of therapy talking about their crazy mamas. That's the word.
I love the fact that you are definitely, like you said, you are yourself. Your personality always shines through with your coaching, with who you work with. And that is because you know who you serve. And so I love it, child. We about crazy, both of us. So, that's why I love it so much, right? But, you said something else. You said it wasn't just always, it's not just about the money as far as the money increase, but everything else. And this also, I want you guys to connect with this. It's not always just about what you're telling people, because this is where people get caught up. They say, well, Taria, I don't know if I just want to only lead with sharing, how to help people to make money. This don't got nothing to do with what you want to lead with. This has to do with what you attract. And if people are not attracted to, let me show you how to have a better relationship with your kids, when alpha women are like, no, I need to make some money. Okay. You connect with them with what they're looking for, and in the back end, they get what they need. So if you learn how to sell what people will pay for, what they want, then you will able to teach them or help them with the things that they need, the stuff that is not getting people to buy. So I hope y'all caught on that, because it's bigger than money. And when you understand that, guys, those of us who are using the world to impact with our words, y'all, you got to make sure that you understand that. Now, let's talk about this because you do got a couple of books. I know you're out of town, so I don't know if you have any of them on hand, but tell us a little bit about do you? Do you have some?
No, I don't have any. Curses. Traveling girl in my luggage. Sorry. Traveling.
She traveling, child. Yeah, listen, she come from Bahamas, and you know, she probably barely even got some clothes in the Bahamas. I don't even know. Suitcase probably look about this big. I'm pretty sure about this tall. But
we'll put it in the photo with the show. We'll put it in the photo with the show.
I'm gonna throw a picture in there so y'all can see, because she has several books. But tell us a little bit about, I will say, your latest book that you have and how people can actually get in touch with you to get some of your books.
Yep. Trauma Default. So Trauma Default is the greatest book written ever, second to Taria's. But so Trauma Default is how to break how to get a clear picture of your future by breaking the trauma cycle of your past. So what I just talked about, a lot of us are trapped in the thinking of what we've been through and what we've gone through, and we don't really tap into or really claim that we could use whatever we went through to be able to propel us and catapult us to the next level. So Trauma Default is really about giving yourself permission to win at a higher level, but also digging around in the chest that you buried in the abyss. And I wouldn't call it a treasure chest, but it can be a treasure chest of the chapter that you refuse to read to your friends, and you won't let anybody know about it. But your greatest future is waiting for you if you're able to really take accountability for the things that you've gone through. I mean, I talk to women who can't remember their childhoods before they're 9. And so now you're at work, not seeing that you're valuable, and you don't know how great you are. Everybody says that you're valuable, but you're not. So once we had she was 35 at the time. She ended up going from 168. I think we got her $400,000 with the $140,000 sign-on bonus. Taria, she 35. Does that make sense? She could not remember her childhood before she was 7, actually. And so once we were able to go in that, it stopped her from seeing that she was valuable, because she tried to black out a whole part of her history, and it mattered in her adulthood. So Trauma Default deals with that. It's really, it's an amazing book. My favorite, I've written, I wrote like 5 and 8 months. Don't do what I did, because I wasn't making no money putting my books on Amazon. But
yes, do not do that. But anyways.
I'm making no money. But I had to get this stuff out. And because I ran out of money and I was crazy in my brother's house, I was trying to cut a deal with God. Be like this. So if I write one book, you going to let me out? So I wrote the first book. And then I wrote the second book. People were like, how you write 5 books in 8 months? I was like, Lord, can you let me out? Can I really demonstrate that the things that I've learned and the investments that I made in myself personally, and the investments that I made, really, it was just really in myself. It wasn't really about the business. It was like, am I healed and am I whole? And once I started to learn that, I was like, all right, pour out. Now, I ain't gonna give you no money, because I still wasn't in alignment. I still wasn't doing what I was called to do. I wasn't trying to talk to women. I was like, I don't even like women. And I didn't want to tell my story. So at a certain point, Taria, it's everybody's destiny doesn't have to be in line with what you've been through, but I can be a demonstration of fully healing, because I left the military with 17 medical conditions. I can be a full demonstration of what it's like to burn out completely and turn into ash, and be able to rise out of the ashes not even smelling like smoke, because I did it. I can be the person that can be like, you're going to die in 2 months. And they be like, what? Well, yeah, I know what burnout looks like. I know what it sounds like, because I did it. So a part of my mission now is to catch women before they fall off the cliff into burnout, and then get them off the cliff, or get them from the bottom of the ocean and be like, man, get up. You've been down there long enough. So that's really what my books are about. The Heal Your Brokenness is one of my favorite books. 10 Powerful Days That'll Change Your Life. The Philosophies of Iconic Leaders and the Philosophies of Spiritual Leaders is really about looking at Joel Osteen, T.D. Jakes, Paulo Coelho, Oprah, and you will see that all great leaders hit the bottom. All great leaders have been through some stuff. So that's really what my books are about, is really to speak to a side of ourselves that we leave behind, of our souls, in our pursuit of success.
I love it. Thank you so very much. Christy, it has been a privilege to have you here. Please let us know if they need to reach out to you. They want to get in contact with you. They're trying to work with you, because you done said some numbers on this page. Listen, let's not forget, y'all. She's going to help you get this raise, but it's bigger than that, right? But for those of you guys who are interested, Christy, how can we get in touch with you?
You can text 66, or you can text change now, CHANGENOW, change now to 66866. Or you can go to change now with Christy, CHRISTY.com, and you can get my insight and learn how to get a 30% raise this year without getting another degree. Stop getting these degrees.
Yes, y'all, stop getting these degrees, okay? You need to reach out to Christy Rutherford, okay? If you want to get the results, honey, go with someone who is absolutely getting it done. So if you're ready to learn how to get a 30% raise without getting another degree, child, you got to plug it to my girl, Christy Rutherford, because she is the queen of it, okay? So listen, it has been a privilege and a pleasure. This is another edition of Wealthy Wednesday. Baby, did we get some wealth over here? Did we get some impact over here? Yes, we did. Please, by any means necessary, if you know anyone who could have used this information, just need some inspiration, y'all tag them. Share this video. Look, I am a big believer that how you sow is how you reap, right? It is a law. So go ahead and sow a little share, okay? Sow a little tag. Do a little thing or two. But other than that, you guys have an incredible, incredible blessed day. My name is Taria Vision Avant, another edition of Wealthy Wednesday, and I look forward to seeing you guys next week, same time, same place. Holla.